Well, howdy there, Internet people. It's Belle again. So today, we're going to talk about a 22-hour-long Senate speech. Democratic Senator Jeff Merkley of Oregon held the Senate floor for 22 hours and 37 minutes. It's the third longest Senate speech in history. We're going to go over some of the highlights. The senator, who turned 69 on Friday, began speaking around 6:24 p.m. on Tuesday and continued until just after 5 p.m. on Wednesday. During this period, the senator wasn't allowed any real breaks without yielding his time. His theme was pretty apparent, and for the most part during his lengthy oration, he stayed on message, which was a warning of the creeping dangers of authoritarianism coming from the White House. Shortly after starting his speech, he laid out the stakes as he sees it, saying, quote, "I've come to the Senate floor tonight to ring the alarm bells. We're in the most perilous moment, the biggest threat to our republic since the Civil War. President Trump is shredding our Constitution." Most of the time during the marathon speech, he was standing next to a sign that said, "Ring the alarm bells. Authoritarianism is here now." He went on, at one point saying, quote, "President Trump wants us to believe that Portland, Oregon, in my home state, is full of chaos and riots. Because if he can say to the American people that there are riots, he can say there's a rebellion. And if there's a rebellion, he can use that to strengthen his authoritarian grip on our nation." He referenced back to events in his home state several times, adding, quote, "This is an extraordinarily dangerous moment. An authoritarian president proceeding to attack free speech, attack free press, weaponize the Department of Justice, and use it against those who disagree with him. And then seeking the court's permission to send the military into our cities to attack people who are peaceful protesting." At another point, he seemed to be directly speaking to Republicans in Congress, who have abdicated their constitutional duties by simply co-signing anything Trump wants or does, when he said, quote, "If we do not confront tyranny in its first year, and if we do not find a way to have a strong rebuttal in the next election, then it becomes entrenched. And it is our responsibility, our oath to the Constitution, to not let that happen." At a press conference, he indicated this was largely inspired by the growing No Kings movement. He said, quote, "I did not want the momentum of that to die down. I felt it was so important at this moment of time to amplify the extraordinary moment we are in of an aggressive authoritarian takeover of our republic." Now, it's unlikely that many on the Republican side of the aisle took his words to heart. They seemed to have a pre-packaged set of talking points to respond with. They actually tried to suggest that it was bad to give the speech because it inconvenienced Capitol Police. I'm not sure how long Republicans need to wait after the 6th before trying to pretend they care about the cops who work at the Capitol, but that time definitely hasn't passed yet. Anyway, it's just a thought. Y'all have a good day.